To make some fantasy wafer paper flowers, we'll use some obviously rice paper, or wafer paper, not rice paper, sorry. The wafer paper is actually based on cornstarch rather than rice starch. So I'm going to start by cutting out like a large petal. Now, if you don't have those punchers, that's no problem. You will have to just use a scissor and just trim the paper in the way you like. But if you're planning to do quite a few flowers in future, I will advise you to get yourself some craft punchers, because they will just save you a lot of time. But if not, just like a scissor will help you to get the shapes you want to get. And those are just fantasy flowers, so there is no preset shape you have to aim for. So just going to leave them as they are. Or if, for example, you get a round puncher and you cut a circle, then you can just come up with smaller or larger leaves for you to take the shape you want. And in here I've also pre-cut some of the large and small. Just going to do some large in wide as well. And I just go on the other side and do the same thing. The paper you use should be a soft paper, 0.35 the maximum, 0.27, because if it's too thick it will crack, so you'll not be able to shape it properly. Okay, and now I'm going to start making the flowers. All I need is just some water. I'm going to dip the fingers in the water and then just moisten the center, and that's going to allow me to actually create like, I intend to call them butterflies, but obviously they are just clusters of paper. So all you have to do is just to moisten the center. That's going to allow the paper to become soft and pliable, and you can just come up with some kind of wings, butterflies, how you want to call them, and then you just squeeze the base. The paper intends to get sticky when you add water to it, as it contains starch. I'm going to create loads and loads of those little petals. If they come apart, just pinch them back again. When you've got a few done, get a base petal and start attaching those clusters. Try not to touch the top of the petal, because if you do, the top of the petal will melt. Just have to have a bit of patience so that the petals will start gluing. We can just add a little bit of moisture. As I said, try not to touch the top of the petal, because that's just not going to look right. The base is fine, but not the top. Okay, just going to get my Dresden tool, make sure that those most areas will get stuck in the center. Okay, so that's one done. Just doing the second. trying to protect the tip of the petals. Okay, and in here, just going to attach those in here. Got the second, and I can go for a white one. But the beauty is they are very light, so you can put them on the side of the cake with ease. I'm going to use some candy melt to attach them, but they can also go straight on buttercream, so the buttercream will not melt them because it's so much fat you don't have to worry about. Okay, so I'm just going to moisten the white one in here. Make sure you don't put your flour on a wet surface, so if you've got any drips of water, remove them before. I've got plenty of the small ones in here, which I can use. Those will also look super cute. You can make like a cascade. So loads and loads of wings. Again, just getting one to stick few together. They can be also stored away from dust and humidity and used when necessary. So a very versatile type of floral arrangement, because it doesn't involve any skill, to be honest. The consumables are cheap, but the effect is great considering the time invested. Okay, again, just moistening and adding. And the number of petals you add, it will depend on how full you want the flower to look like, the size of the petals you are going to cut. But approximately, I would say 6 to 7 clusters should be enough. to give you a full flower. So I've got enough to make another flower in here in white. I've got some more pinks. Okay, going to stick them all in here. Good. So as you can notice, there is no kind of rule how you fold them. The only thing which I want to make sure is that I don't touch the tip of the petals, so they remain crisp. Okay, if any of the petals intend to come apart, that's no problem. Okay, let's see how many I've got here, so I can share them equally. 3, 4, 4. Okay, I'm going to put some water in here. Getting one more in here, and just another one in here. So we've got here a really nice bunch of flowers and some foliage which we can use. Now with the foliage, if you prefer, you can just stick it to the flowers. All you have to do is just literally just dip that into water. Now if you dip it into water and it becomes too moist, you can just pop it upside down so that it doesn't get stuck to the surface, but it will get moist super quick and it will get attached to the flower. So I'm going to put this green onto the larger leaves, larger flowers. And we can just leave them upside down to moist and set. Just going to put one more in there. So it's probably one of the quickest way to realize an impressive floral arrangement with fully edible, no wires, no fancy bits, just some water, some wafer paper, and then you know, just pretty little flowers. Okay, so let's see how we can sort them out into a floral display.